lesson 3.4, writing two-step equations. Example 1. Your family paid $180 to rent a plane to tour the Grand Canyon. The tour company charged $35 per hour, plus a fuel fee of $75. Which equation can be used to find h, the number of hours your family rented the plane? First of all, to write and solve a two-step equation, to find h, which is the number of hours the family rented the plane, we begin by writing a verbal model. We're trying to get the total cost, and the total cost is going to equal the rental of the plane, $35 per hour, which we don't know the hours, per means you multiply, plus a fuel fee of $75. So what you have here is the cost per hour times the number of hours plus the fuel fee. The total cost we know was $180. It was $35 per hour, that's what it said up here, and we don't know how many hours, plus the fuel fee was $75. We can now solve this two-step equation. Here's the variable on the right side. The constant is 75, so we add negative or subtract 75 from both sides. I like to add negatives. You get 105 on the left. The 75s cancel out on the right. You're left with 35 each. Divide each side by 35. 105 divided by 35 is 3. Remember, you can always go back and check by plugging in the 3 to verify that you do get 180. And here is the check. The correct answer is D. This time your family paid $224 to rent a boat to tour Chesapeake Bay. The marina charged $26 per hour, so you're multiplying the hours, plus a fuel fee of $42. You can see right where the words were and the numbers, I put down my equation. I have $26 times h plus $42 for the fuel fee, and that's going to equal $224 total. So how many hours did we rent? Well, let's subtract negative 42. You get 182, divide by 26, divide by 26, you end up with 7. This was the equation, 7 was the answer. That's how many hours you rented the boat for. If you remember back to a lesson in chapter, I believe it was 1, where we talked about the words difference, sum, product, quotient. If you need to, refer back to that section. Difference is subtracting. Look for the word and that's where you plug in the subtraction. 5 times means multiplied. A number is a variable, so I'm just going to pick x. You can see they picked n, but it doesn't matter. Minus, because that was where the and was, the difference of 5 times a number. And negative 12 means equals 2. This is how you translate a sentence into a two-step equation. I am going to change my subtracting a negative to adding a positive though, and that's what they did here. And now we can solve. The constant is 12. See, the variable's on the left, so I'm going to clear the left side. I'm going to add the opposite of 12, which is negative 12, to both sides. 12's cancel out on the left. You're left with 5n. 2 plus negative 12 is negative 10. Divide both sides by the coefficient, which is 5. 5's cancel to 1. You're left with n. Negative 10 divided by 5 is 2. Remember to check your work. Negative 2, excuse me. Check your work. Make sure that you are correct. This is negative 10 plus 12 does equal 2, so it checks. Go ahead and translate this two-step equation and then find the number. Pause the video. Here's sum. Sum means to add. We look for the word and this is where we put our addition. I'm just going to write the symbols and the numbers underneath where they are. So the sum, we already put the and. Let's go back. A number, let's use n this time, divided by, now I'm going to use a fraction bar, negative 3, and, that's the plus, 7 equals 15. So what you have here is n divided by negative 3 plus 7 equals 15. Left side has the variable, so we clear the negative 3 and the 7. The constant is 7, so let's add negative 7. End up with 8, 7's cancel, n divided by negative 3. Opposite of division, or the inverse of division, is multiplication. Multiply both sides by negative 3. N equals negative 24. See, that's the answer right here after the comma. Number 3, the difference is subtraction. There's the and, put subtraction. Go back. 4 times a number is variable minus, because there's the and, 9 equals 23. So the problem that I have is 4x minus 9 equals 23. I'm going to change subtraction to adding the opposite. Then to get rid of the constant on the left side, 4 and negative 9 we're clearing. The constant is negative 9. Add 9 to both sides of the equation. 4x, those cancel out, equals 23 plus 9 is 32. Divide both sides by the coefficient 4, x equals 8. There's the answer. Example 3. At a one-day fair, you sold bracelets. You made $79. It cost $17 to rent a booth. You sold the bracelets for $3 each. How many bracelets did you sell? Well, each bracelet costs $3. That means you're going to do $3 times how many bracelets you sell. But you also have to add in the cost of the booth rental, and that's going to equal your total. You can see they've started with a verbal model. Your profit, which was $79, equals the price, which is $3 per bracelet. Don't know how many bracelets you sold, so that's B. Subtract the cost of the booth. Oh, I'm sorry. Actually, this is a negative because you are subtracting the rental of the booth. You had to pay for that. Two-step problem, we add the opposite. That means negative 17 to clear it. That's the constant. We add positive 17 to both sides. 17's cancel. 79 plus 17 is 96. Divide each side by 3. 96 divided by 3. Use your calculator if you need to. 32. You sold 32 bracelets, and you can go back and check if they're $3 each. 3 times 32 is 96. Then subtract the $17 it took to set up the booth, and that is $79.